Welcome to the Busy to Balance podcast. I am your host, Jamie Sauro, and I'm the founder of Oh How Healthy. This podcast is all about how to show you, the overworked, overwhelmed, and occasionally unhealthy woman, how to find health and balance in all different areas of your life. I will share with you digestible, bite-sized bits of info on everything from balancing a healthy plate to keeping a healthy home and everything in between. Now listen, I know that you are busy, and that is why I will keep these episodes short, sweet, and to the point. Now let's dive into today's episode. Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. This is a really exciting podcast. This is one that I recorded with a client of mine. Her name is Jenna, and we go through her experience, what she really took out of the programs, working together, what sort of highs and lows we went through, and really, this is a taste of what it's like to work with a health coach. I wanted to share this episode now because Enrollment to the Busy to Balance method, which is my signature one-on-one coaching program, is officially open. And it will be open until October 21st. And it won't open again for another few months. So there's so much more info on what it is, what you receive in the coaching, and how to apply in the show notes. There's a link to my website where you can learn more about it and apply over there. But I just wanted to say that this time of year is really my favorite time of year to work with clients because it's the time that we can let the indulgent food and excuses get the best of us. And not only that, but there is the change of seasons that's going on, which can affect us emotionally and physically and kind of make us feel like, not wanting to do much. And really, on top of all that, even like there's so much layers to our health and wellness. But on top of all that, there are so many triggers that come up when being subjected to certain social situations coming this time of year, spending extra money on gifts, family, extended family, like holiday parties, etc. So this is a beautiful time of year, and it is meant to be enjoyed without the fear of putting on the pounds or worrying about how you're going to find the time and money and motivation and energy to accomplish it all. So that is really why I love working with people this time of year. I love being that resource that you have, that holds you accountable, that pushes you forward, and that helps you achieve your goals. So that's enough for me. I hope that you enjoy this episode with Jenna and myself. So on our show today, we have a special guest. She is a client of mine, and she is pretty awesome, and her name is Jenna Sauro. Jenna, how are you? What's going on? You want to introduce yourself to everyone?
Hi, Jamie. Yes, hi. I am Jenna Sauro, and I'm one of Jamie's clients. And Jamie has taught me how to take my busy life and make it more manageable and balanced. And I have to say, I have never felt so good in the past couple of months than I have in my entire life. Working with Jamie has just been so eye-opening, and she has made me just make several small adjustments to my daily living. It's made me just make life more manageable.
Well, thank you, Jenna. I really appreciate that. No, I really appreciate you. What were some of the reasons that caused you to approach a health coach? Because I'm sure there's all these different options out there, right? There's nutritionists and life counselors and therapists, but what caused you to kind of reach out for a health coach?
So as far as a health coach goes, I was at a point in my life where I just felt like I was at rock bottom with everything. I was just, there was no real contentment with what I was doing. I just had a lot of ideas and a lot of things that I wanted to change and didn't know how to do it without going completely out of control and spiraling out of control to where it was super unmanageable. And I needed some guidance, and I needed someone to motivate me and give me the resources I needed to just be successful, not only with, daily living, but in other aspects of my life as well.
Yeah. And I'm glad that you picked up on all that, because a lot of the times people assume, oh, health coach, and there's all different kinds of health coaches, but it's, you might assume we're just going to work on the food portion, but we all have a lot going on, and I like that you touched on that. So what you were saying, you were feeling kind of out of control when it came to making food choices, like positive food choices?
Oh yeah, like I couldn't even tell you. I know we had talked like in my initial session,
Mm-hmm.
like I would have so much anxiety just day to day being like, okay, what am I going to eat today?
Yeah.
Is it going to make me fat? Like,
Yeah.
And then I could always be hungry, and I'm like, why am I always hungry? And then I wouldn't eat, and I would just like go through these, like, every day would be different with what I ate and what I did and what time I did those things. And it was just, I was like, I need someone to tell me or guide me on what to do and what to eat so that I could stop having anxiety about my food choices, because it was just, everyone tried to tell you what's healthy and, what you should eat. I go to the gym and people are like, oh, you shouldn't eat this before bed, and you shouldn't eat this late, and you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. And you just get all these different perspectives, and, your friends try different things, and, and everyone's got the answer to everything. And it's just like, what am I going to do?
Yeah. I mean, you just said, I think that sums it up for everyone pretty much. Like, there's so many different things on the market and all the 1,000,001 different diets. So kind of what route do you take? And we'll get into what we did in just a second, but you were, you're already a healthy person. You're already at the gym. You eat well, right? You were doing the shakes. You were doing protein shakes, right? With the whey protein. So someone would look at you and be like, you're fit, you're in shape, like you're healthy, right?
Right.
Like you're successful, you work hard, but beneath the surface, you were kind of having those anxieties and needed some guidance, even though you were eating healthy in a sense, grilled chickens, broccoli, and those shakes, right?
Yeah, I love shakes.
Yeah. So I guess as an example, we kind of went through your diet, like we seen what was working and then kind of added in more of the good things that would work even better. Like, for example, the shake. Now, a shake is not an unhealthy thing, but we dug in deeper and like, what are we adding to our shakes? What kind of protein powders are we adding? And do you want to share with everyone what we discovered about your protein powders that you were using?
Yes. So, one of the things was I did use a lot of whey protein, and I would always, like, nothing would fill me up. Like, I was just using like basic protein powders from like GNC and this and that, and I would give me like stomach aches. So Jamie suggested, going more plant-based or vegan plant-based options, and it worked so much better. It was like so much better on my stomach, and it's just making small adjustments to just choosing the protein and then adding things to the protein shake as well. Like, I was just adding basic things, like 1 or 2 ingredients, and Jamie's like, oh my gosh, like sometimes I just buy things around what I have laying around and throw it into my blender, but it really does work. You're like, wow, I really didn't think that like spinach leaves would taste good in my shake, but they're actually fantastic. And you add more things so that the shake, and in my particular case, I would have a protein shake and then be starving like an hour later.
Yeah.
And so by packing on the protein shake and adding more things to it, more healthier options, it made me fuller longer and better for me. So.
Yeah, and you were feeling, I think after just a few swaps that we made, you were like feeling amazing, right? After a few changes, you said your a little bloat went down.
Oh yeah, I've cut out dairy for the most part. I still have it occasionally, and like I grew up Italian, so cheese is kind of part of who I am as a person. But I have cut out dairy for the most part, and it's definitely made a world of difference with, digestion and bloating. And another thing too is that I have such a sweet tooth, and one of the adjustments I made, because after every time I eat something, I feel like I need sweets, and I've made adjustments as far as like, well, maybe that's magnesium that I'm craving, or I've actually I love carrots and almond butter. That was one of the suggestions Jamie gave me, and it is like my absolute favorite like treat.
Yes, so little things like that you might not have thought of or might not have been keen to, and you're like, okay, I'll be brave and I'll try it.
Right. I'm like, I'd sit there and I'd like, okay, well, if I buy this vegan dark chocolate bar and have some, it won't be so bad. But then I eat like the whole bag. And I'm like, well, no, then that's not good for you. Like, you cannot eat an entire bag of bark. So like rationing it out and like, as far as like, switching to like more whole foods, the carrots, the almond butter,
Yes. Yeah, that was a big transition we made. You were protein bars and different like I don't want to say diet things, right? But the protein, high protein things and all of those prepackaged foods, right?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Like I was GNC's like best customer. Like,
they hate me.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Like where do you go? Like I would eat like their protein muffins and their protein like mac and cheese, and like I'd like eat Quest bars so I was like blue in the face, and eat like all the whey proteins, and I was just, always be hungry all the time. But I've made that adjustment to the protein, carb, fat rations and
macros, right?
Whole foods.
Counting macros. Yeah. So, but how can you touch upon like what was that transition like for you? Because it was intimidating at first because your anxiety really was high in these areas, and you're like, what do you mean I shouldn't have this protein bar? This like you're telling me that these high carbohydrate carrots will be beneficial, and so what was that like for you? What kind of came up?
So just in general, like eating like had always given me a lot of anxiety about like what I'm going to eat and when I'm going to eat it, and if it's all those things. So like just making the transition into whole foods, carrots and celery and vegetables and fruits and just general eating was very easy. You just, with going to the grocery store, it made it a lot simpler. Like making everything colorful as far as like your fruits and your veggies with your salads and things like that. And meal prepping became something that I did more often. But making the transition from like the grab and go, like that's like the lifestyle that I had, like grab and go. Okay, great. Like I'll just buy an entire bag or an entire box of protein bars and that's like what I'm going to live off of for today. But just taking that same amount of time, that extra 2 or 3 minutes to, prep the salad or prep the chicken all together. Like it was actually a really easy transition, which was nice. Yeah.
Or even, cause you do live an on the go lifestyle. So maybe it was like hard boiling eggs or making those. Oh, I loved how you made those protein balls into cake pop or quotation marks cake pops, right? For that party that you're going to. That was such a fun, you definitely took all the recommendations and kind of just ran with it. So that was a way where, because you're in a lot of on the go social situations, whether with work, meeting with clients, or interactions with friends. So do you want to share a little bit about that and how lunch and dinners with clients and then that party situation went?
Right. So this is one of the greatest things that I've taken away from our sessions, was just to be like unapologetically healthy. Like, for my work, I'm in sales and marketing, so I do take a lot of people out to lunches or dinners or breakfasts, and, being in control and being able to say, okay, let's meet here, and being able to look at the menus ahead of time just saves me so much anxiety about what I'm going to eat when I get there. And I do pack my own salad dressing, and I know that sounds so funny, but it's just become so second nature to me now. And it's, I have to whip it out in the middle of lunch and be like, oh, I packed my own dressing. I'm just so particular. I mean, whatever you can say to just, make a joke out of it or make light out of it. And it takes like 5 seconds and then you're on to the next subject. So
I love it.
if you just have to let go of what other people think. And I mean, your friends, you can, I've inspired them more so. Like now they're like, oh, can I try some of your dressing? I'm like, yes, like let's do this together. It's so awesome. And that's really great. That's just one of the adjustments that I've had. And going out to eat and looking at the menus prior to going. So, with, anything going out to dinner with friends or family, like whatever restaurant going to, just check it out, see what I can get, make all the modifications. And it's so funny. Like my friends and my family, like when I go to order, they're like, oh, here we go. I don't care.
Who cares?
Who cares? You can't care. Like, what are they going to do? Like no one is going to judge you. Like the server's not going to give you an attitude because if they do, guess what? They don't have a job. So you just have to those small adjustments with eating out. And that's like the one thing I always feel like people freak out about is, well, going out to eat in my social life, there's ways around it and there's healthier drink choices to make. And, you just make that adjustment. Like no one's telling you not to enjoy your life. And that's one of the things I took from Jamie as well. And then over the summer, like I'm so glad I chose to do this program, during busier times, especially in the summer when everyone's having barbecues and picnics and, I had some housewarming parties and I was like, what am I going to do? I'm going to go to my friends' houses or family's house and it's just going to be, potato salad and, burgers and chips and hot dogs. And I'm like, I'm just going to eat myself senseless. But Jamie had made the suggestion of bringing your own dish. Make something that you can eat. So I would bring the veggie trays and I made what Jamie had said earlier, cake pops, because I have such a sweet tooth. So I'd be like, oh, you know what? Before I'd be like, no, I'm good on the burger, but then I would eat like 7 brownies because I love sweets. But so I brought, a vegetable tray to different parties, and I made these cake pops. Which were so awesome. They were actually like energy bites, the recipe Jamie sent me, and then I literally added chocolate and put them on a stick and made them into cake pops, and they were fantastic. They all went. So you don't have to worry about that either. And going to parties and family events, I made sure I ate ahead of time so that I wasn't hungry and hovering over the tables and bringing something that I could eat and making the adjustments. So
I love it. I love how you use the word unapologetically healthy. That is amazing. And because it's true, and that's exactly the other things that we dive into outside of nutrition, like relationships. If those people are going to sit there and make fun of you, well, guess what? They're not the right people for you. Or having a voice and speaking up at the restaurant, or when someone is going to snicker at the party and like, oh, here we go, Jenna again, and that's exactly what we get into as well. And as you move through that, you really become this person that you desire to be, which is amazing. And you, my lovely, lovely friend, you towards the end of our program, we kind of dive into even more deeper things and about career and relationships and all that stuff. And we touch upon career, and we discovered that you had an underlying passion, huh?
Sure did.
You did. And well, I guess what kind of what do you think initiated or prompted you to kind of want to make a shift in this direction when it came to career, into something that you were really passionate about?
So one of my sessions with Jamie, we talked about career, and I'm like, oh my God, please, I don't want to talk about my career. It's just, I went to school for communications and marketing, and that's what I've done for the past, I guess, like 7 or 8 years, and I enjoy it. However, Jamie was like, well, do you wake up every day loving what you do? And that's one of the things that kind of like took me back for a second. I was like, it pays the bills. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess I really like it. And as much as I enjoy working in the field that I do, and I find it really rewarding, I wanted to do something more. And one of the things I truly enjoy, and like it's so habitual to me now, is getting up and starting every day with a workout and going to the gym. And a lot of my friends and family are not the same way. And to want to wake up every day and do that is something I enjoy. So I thought to myself, I bet if I really focused on this, that I could turn this into not just a hobby, but also something that I could wake up every day and enjoy doing, which was personal training. So I took the initiative and signed up through the National Academy of Sports Medicine in August, and I did my studying and just passed my exam a couple weeks ago, this October, and I'm officially certified. And, for my friends and family, I've done sessions with them, and I've been able to give them some guidance. And my friends range from, oh my God, I hate the gym, I never go, I have no idea how to hold a dumbbell, to, okay, I've worked out a couple times, to, okay, yes, I work out 3-4 times a week. So I've had a variety of that to deal with, and I love it. I enjoy it. And I thought to myself, you know what, I probably wouldn't like doing this after working 8-9 hours a day, but I love it. I love being like, okay, after work, now I can go and personal train, and it's just as rewarding, and it's something I look forward to.
Oh, I love it. And I'm going to definitely have to have you back on to talk about the physical fitness side of things in particular, because I know that that's a huge struggle for most of us. Whether we get to the gym, we don't know what to do when we get there. We don't know how to stick to our routine. And so you're definitely going to be my go-to girl when it comes to all that. And so I'm excited to have you back on soon to talk about all that. But are you working with people right now? Just locally? Small?
Yeah, just locally right now.
Yeah.
I am going into a gym. I will be going into a gym and be working for a gym shortly.
Yeah.
I just haven't put my name on the dotted line yet. But I do also, personal train on the side. So my gym, I go to LA Fitness. They offer guest passes. If someone has a gym membership elsewhere, I can come with them as a guest and do the training. So it just depends. If someone is home and they have at-home equipment and wanted me to go there, I could do that as well. So
I'll leave your link to maybe your Instagram in the show notes. So if someone was local and wanted to kind of reach out, they could.
Awesome.
So that right there, that's a great example of how you were able to make those little changes to really kind of tap into this amazing lifestyle that you're desiring to live. Now, without reaching out to a coach or having a mentor, do you think that you would have maybe done this on your own?
So probably not. I would have probably just stayed going through the motions of everything. Maybe switched up my diet a little bit. I did keto earlier this year, and that was just completely unmanageable. I got fat on keto because I would eat all these fats and then go out with my friends and have pizza. So I'd be having all this fat and then all these carbs, and then I got fat. So I'm like, oh no. So I feel like I would just continue to go through the grab and go and just, continue just going about what I'm doing and think to myself, prior to our conversation, Jamie, I was just, I even think I said to you in that session, I'm like, I am just too busy. I don't have time to, if I want to go back to school, am I going to end up, going into debt up to my eyeballs because I want to change my profession? Am I going to, there's just a lot of what ifs, and it was just felt so out of reach. And then I was like, you know what? Personal training would be something that'd be the perfect fit. Because even if it's not going to be a full-time career, it's still something that at least every day I can say, this is what I'm looking forward to. So it's just making those little adjustments and getting past those what ifs and having that third party, I come from a family that supports me no matter what I do. And so if I wanted to, say to them, I want to do this, I want to do that, they'd be like, oh, great, go for it. Do whatever you want. And same thing with my friends. I mean, that's why they're there to support you and love you. But then having a third person like you come in and say, well, is this what really makes you happy, was just like a real eye-opener and a game changer for me at this point in my life. So.
Oh, well, you were amazing. You were awesome. And I loved how, this is really why I wanted to have you on, because you were a great example of, we started off talking about nutrition, but once we sorted all that out and you're like, wow, my belly bloat is down, I'm feeling great, I have more energy, then we were able to dive into all this other stuff that, career, finances, relationships, using your voice, that you were a perfect example of, and you really took the recommendations and ran with it.
Right.
Oh, I love it, Jenna.
It's been great, and the journey continues. So
it does. It really, really does. And no, I really appreciate you coming on and sharing your experience. I will 100% have you back on to talk about physical fitness, because that is something that we all struggle with from time to time. And you are that person that gets your booty there, and we'll definitely have you back on. But thank you for your time. And I will leave your Instagram bio in the comments, or your Facebook page, so people can reach out to you if they're interested.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks so much, Jamie. I'm so glad you had me on today.
Thank you. All right. Bye, Jenna.
Bye.
So if you're listening to this podcast on October 15th, Monday, October 15th, enrollment is going to be open until October 21st, and that is a Sunday. So what you would do to apply is there's going to be a link in the bottom show notes here. And the reason why there's an application process here is because I want to make sure that you're the perfect fit for the program. There are only so many spots available. I can only work with so many people at the same time. So there's limited spaces. And also, most importantly, is because I offer a 100% money back guarantee. So that means if you go through the whole program, through all 8 sessions together, through the 3 months that we're working together, and you are not happy with your outcome, given that you put in all the work, you will get your full return in your investment. That is how confident I am in this program, in my work, and in this Busy to Balance method. So if you want to learn more about that, you want to learn more about how to enroll and what you will get out of the program, how much it costs, then you can go ahead and click on the link in my show notes, where it will take you to the page on my website, which is www.ohowhealthy.com, where you can learn more about that. So I really hope you check that out. I hope you consider enrolling. I hope you take the chance on yourself. I know that this time of year can be overwhelming. I know that it can be scary moving forward with a health coach, but you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. There is a 100% money back guarantee. And also remember, enrollment closes on October 21st. So be sure to put yourself in the calendar before that date.